Hello everybody, welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I'm Jeannie Nielsen, the Card Lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. I keep getting Facebook is trying to give me little tips and hints to make this better, and seriously, they could make it better by leaving my videos on longer, but I am trying to get them uploaded to YouTube in a rather timely manner. Not working out all the time, but I do try. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about my February promotion. It is a love promotion. Everything to do with love. And now I know what you're thinking. Endless love would be a perfect way to start. But seriously, I don't need any more Valentine cards. And I haven't thought of a way to make it without the Valentines yet. So I'm going to work on that. But that's going to be later in the month. And it's going to be about different things besides Valentine's Day. Instead, I am going to focus on love and lovely. And there are so many products in our catalog or on our website that have to do with love or lovely. So today, starting right off the bat with week number 1, I'm going to talk about the Lovely Blossom Suite. And you may see this more than one day. I may do this again because there is the Lovely Arrangement stamp set and the Lovely Blossoms designer paper. I'm going to flip down so I can show you the designer paper and talk about it a little bit, and we'll look at the stamp set, and then we will get to our 2 cards. So let me flip up to flip down, and there we are. Perfect. So here is my designer paper. This paper is a little bit unique because it is 12 sheets like normal, but it is 3 of each design. So this is one of them, and it's got a petal pink on the back. By the way, I forgot to call attention, so you're going to have to notice at the end, I am dressed in colors that to me mimic the Lovely Blossom Suite. You can see the navy or secret sea. Yeah, this isn't really cloud cover, but it does have some crumb cake, so you can kind of see what I'm going for. It should have a little bit of petal pink in there, and we'd be all set. It's almost like it's made for me. This paper, you've got your little 2x2 squares. These are more like 3x4, and then these are probably, if that's 4 and that's 2, these are probably 6, 4x6. So this would be for a larger card. But I'm going to show you what I did with this card, and we could actually do it with all of our cards. So you've got so many designs here on the front. You could use this and make a patchwork card. Maybe I'll work on that. I'll be working on that. I actually hope to post to my blog this week, especially because I have an extra day to do it. I'll be back again tomorrow, and I may actually be back Facebook Live with another card and a box. I love this cloud cover stripe. Reminds me of wallpaper, but I love it. Then we have this petal pink with Secret Sea. And on the back, we've got lots of old olive texture looking paper, kind of a linen look. And then the last one is this crumb cake little mini flowers. And the back of that is the Secret Sea design, like a, I'm not even going to come up with the name, because if I do come up with the name, I'm probably going to say it wrong. So anyway, you've got that. So let me show you the stamp set and dies real quick, and then we're going to jump into our cards. I don't want to take too much of your time. Lovely Arrangements. This is a stamp set. There's lots of little things right here. You are so lovely. Happy birthday, just a note. And that's going to fit this little die. I love that it has a narrow die. And then you've got a couple of bigger ones, larger sentiments that will kind of fit this one. To me, I'm going to, my card today uses Hello Friend. I've also seen one with Sending Smiles with that same size. So always here for you. I'm not sure if that fits, but I would imagine they wouldn't put it there if it didn't. You've got your half flower, you've got your whole flower, and you got your leaves. You've got some great dies here, and I'm going to talk about this when I make my second card. So let's wait on that, and we'll talk a little bit about those dies yet. Okay, so I'm going to show you my first card, and I'm really excited about it. What I just realized is that I don't have my paper trimmer, so let me grab that. It's right here on the table. I used it for my card class today, and I wanted to show you how I was doing some of the cutting, and that's why I'm bringing in my paper trimmer. This is the card for today's first card. Isn't it so pretty? I don't know if you can see all the shiny, the Wink of Stella there, but wait till you see it, and I'll show you my technique with that. Let's get right into that card, and then I'll show you the second card, okay? So this is, like I said, the 4x6 panels. So you could adhere this as is right onto a large card. I don't know if we have, probably the Memories and More cards and envelopes. If we still carry them, I honestly don't know if we still carry them. It would probably fit on there, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to use this one right here. So let me cut that down. I'm going to put the line right on my track for my paper trimmer. We can set that aside. Now, what I want to do is cut this down to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. No, 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to do it to 3 3/4 by 5. So it's already 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is move it to 3 7/8, take off 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to do the same thing on my other side. And that'll bring me right down to 3 3/4 already. We're going to do the same thing with the top. We are going to take off, so this is, like I said, 6 inches. We need to get down to 5 inches, so we're going to go down to 5 1/2 inches. Let's take a 1/2 inch off the bottom. And then we're going to take another 1/2 inch off the top, and that leaves us 3 3/4 by 5. Don't forget to do your math and figure that out. We didn't think that we were going to use our math when we got older, and especially when we got to into crafts, but I use my math all the time. Let me set that aside for a second because I want to show you what I did with the old olive layer. I'm going to, this is 3 3/4 by 5. Rather than putting this at 4 by 5 1/4, I feel like I have a more professional looking edge if I cut it to just under that. What I like to do is put my card, I'm going to do it at the hair, which is 1/16 under 4. And I think I already did that already, so I kind of shredded this. I didn't really want to do that. I'll have to fix that in a second before I adhere it to the card, because it really was already there. So it's already a hair under 4, and this is going to be a hair under 5 1/4. So 1/16, one of these little lines, let me show you right there, 5 1/4 is there, it's the next line. And if you do that length and width, you're going to end up with a card. This is how it's going to look. I'm going to layer it right on here, just like that. And it just has a better look than 4 by 5 1/4, my feeling. But you can do easily, if you don't want to get into the math or worrying about the 16ths, just glue it onto an old olive piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. This is the first part. This is a relatively easy card. I just kind of added onto it a bit. So let's do it like that. There we go. And we're going to glue that right onto, if I can find where I put it right here, onto my Secret C card base. 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, our usual card measurement, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to put that right on there, just like that. And don't you love those edges? It's a little bit more professional looking, if there is such a thing. I'm going to glue that right on. I don't need to worry about tying any ribbon around. My people are going to be so happy. I know there's at least a couple of people. Shirley, she's so funny. She's like, I should have paid attention. I knew that I was going to glue it down before I added the ribbon. So anyway, let's get into this. What I'm going to do is I have a length of the Secret C sheer ribbon. And did I put that in my basket? Because I wanted to show you. It's not actually part of the suite. The suite actually uses a cloud cover ribbon. And maybe we will for one card, but for this one, we're going to use the Secret Sea sheer ribbon. It's a bordered open weave ribbon, and it ties beautifully. So Secret Sea. This is one of the new things that you can get out of our new mini catalog. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to bunch this together and just make this a faux bow. Faux being pretend, false, whatever you want to call it. And what I'm going to do, oh, you know what? I'm not ready for that yet. First, I've got a stamp. Let's stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment again in Secret Sea. So I got my Secret Sea ink and I just re-inked it. I don't know if it's the dry air because of the furnace being right here, but everything, all of my ink pads have needed to be re-inked in the last 2 weeks. All of them. Hello, friend. I'm going to stamp that right there, and I'm not standing up, so hopefully that's good. Yeah, not bad at all. Beautiful. Let me clean that before I make a mess on any of my other cards. Okay, now that I've done that, let me close up my Secret Sea ink. We'll use that later. And now I can make my faux bow. So I've got it already ready to go here. I've already looped it just like a regular bow. And what we're going to do is attach that behind our lovely sentiment label. Now, I love this label. Isn't that oval so beautiful? What I want to do is use some tear and tape. I'll get a length of tear and tape, and I'm going to put that across the middle just to tack it down. Now, I have to be careful. I want to make sure that I don't know, to me, this doesn't look right. I don't know why. You can do it however you want, but I feel like I wanted my ribbon to go more in this direction. But I'm going to pinch it together, just like that. And I'm going to put it behind here, just like that. Not really pinched. Let me pinch again. Let's do a better job pinching. And there's my tear and tape. And there you go. Just like that, I've got my faux bow, which looked better on the first card than on this one, but that's okay. So now you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to tack down this tear and tape so it's not going to lift on me. I'm going to pop up my sentiment label. We're almost done with this card. There's a couple more things I want to show you. A little technique that I've been working on. Kind of perfecting, not doing such a great job, but trying. Okay, so we're just going to put this down here, right here in the corner, just like that. Try to do a better job on your faux bow than I did, okay? Looks a little bit funny. I would love to tie a bow, and that would be a great way to keep it together, but then it would be bunched up under here. So the next thing I'm going to do is add some leaves. These are die cut leaves. So I've shown you the sentiment label. These are some leaves that you can cut out. There's a set of 2 and there's a set of 1. And I'm just going to add a little bit of the green glue behind these. And what I chose to do was kind of cover up those flowers right there. And I'll tell you why in a second. I'm going to accent these flowers with the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. Let's just put that one right there. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to do that with the Moody Palette Glossy Dots, and I was going to put it in the center of all my flowers. If I do that, I'm using an awful lot of glossy dots. So I'm not going to do that. We're just going to do it so that we do it on those 3. So like our rule of 3s, this is easy to do. So that's where I'm going to put that. And actually, I want to do something else before I do that. Let me see if I can pull that back up. Yep, there we go. That wasn't that hard. Sometimes it leaves the glue dot behind. I think we're good on this one. I want to show you what I did here with my card now. I have Wink of Stella, and this is a fairly wet one, and I'm just bringing it over all of my white petals. It only takes a second. You don't have to be very fancy. Just do it all over your white petals. And I'm calling this my Moonlit Garden card. Just like that. I'll put that in between, just like that. Then what I did, because like I said, it's a fairly wet card, I'm going to get some scrap paper here. Who knows what I did use that for? That looks like my sailboat card that I did. I'm going to do some tapping. We're going to add some sparkle dots. This is Elizabeth Price's favorite thing to do. She just loves to add Wink of Stella dots. And you can see that just a little bit. It's just a tiny bit here and there. If I wanted to, I could squeeze a little bit more Wink of Stella down. I don't know. Oh, I could easily do that here, couldn't I? And we're gonna, ooh, then we got some big dots. I squeezed it down, and now I've got much larger dots that I'm splattering. Be careful, you don't want to smear it. So I'm gonna set it off to the side for just a second. And while I'm waiting for that to finish, let me get this out of the way for just a second so I don't get that all over my card as well. I'm going to stamp my inside. So this is what I decided to do for the inside. I'm going to use a stamp from Prayers and Promises. Now the sentiments from this lovely arrangement set are beautiful for fronts, absolutely beautiful, but I wanted to say something inside. And I think I've used this one just about every week. Prayers and Promises, keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, remembering you in my prayers. And just about everybody needs this. And don't people want to be thought of every day? I mean, seriously. Everybody could use prayers. So there we go. That's my stamped sentiment for the inside. And you can choose to use this if you come to class, or I don't know if you have this at home, but I would definitely put it on your list. If you can, I actually think, I might actually be doing a very bad disservice to you. I almost think it's on either low inventory or back order right now. So that you might have to wait for this one. But I'm telling you, before it goes out, put it on your list. This color here is Smoky Slate, and I just have one of the half flowers here. And I'm just going to stamp it in the corner because to me, these look like they were stamped with either cloud cover, probably cloud cover. But we're going to do it with Smoky Slate today. Right here in the corner. And there we go. We can put that on our inside. Minnie must want some food because I hear her barking up there. I hope it's not disrupting you guys. Mickey and Minnie, boy, if they get going, if they see another dog, and right now there aren't too many dogs outside because it is seriously cold out there. We're going to have a heat wave tomorrow, though. I heard it's supposed to get to 29. Hold on to your hats, people. Okay, so this I'm going to put right here on the inside, just like that. And hopefully this is dry. And there we go. So now the last thing that I want to do, I put it off for a second. Let's not forget, we're going to add these dots now. I've got my Take Your Pick tool, and I like the putty side. So I'm going to try to use that. Pick up 3 of my smaller dots for the inside flowers, just like that. Isn't that so pretty? And doesn't this make you think of a moonlit garden with all the shine? It's like a spotlight right on those flowers. So there we go. Card number 1, easy peasy. So in a package of designer paper, you can make 3 cards just like this. So just saying. Okay, let me just clean up my mess real quick. And then we're going to get on to card number 2. I like card number 2, and I hope you do too. It's not quite what I had in mind, but I can't quite figure out how to do it otherwise. So this is my card number 2 right here. And I'll talk you through this whole card, and it's really, really easy. Once again, I'm on Secret C, and I forgot to grab an inside layer for this. So, but if I was going to, I would probably stamp it. I meant to stamp it with these flowers, just like I did on the front. Okay. So we have our card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Don't forget, if you like these cards, tell me which one you like, because unless I go back to the very minute that you leave the comment, I don't know which card you like. But if you like both of them, tell me that you love them. I have decided this week I'm going to send some love. Somebody is going to get, I might pick 2 comments, 2 random comments from everybody that leaves a comment. I will send these cards to you. So after my class, which is Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. So hang tight. Okay, so here we have our 5.5 by 8.5 card base. Now, I was telling you that we have some really neat dies in this lovely arrangements bundle. So this is one of them, and don't you love it? It's like an eyelet, and it cuts a design, which means, of course, a little bit of work. And I did actually end up with this imprint in the middle, which is why I decided to add my ribbon. But I think I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to see if I can cover it up. Before I do that, though, we have to clean this up. So how are we going to do that? Hopefully you all have the take your pick tool with the new crafting tips. I've got my die cutting brush, and then of course I have my piercer on the other side. These are smaller. This piercer is smaller than the regular crafting tips. I don't know if you've noticed, but the little holes here are much smaller and will only fit like a pinhead or either one of these 2 piercing tools. Your regular piercing tool that we got initially is not going to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this first. I'm just running my die brush over top of this. And then if there's anything left, I might have to do a little bit of poking. Hopefully not, but by the way, I have to figure out, I told you about Sunday is one of my classes. I'm actually going to have a Super Sunday. So if you sign up for class on Sunday, it's actually going to include soup. I'm going to make some homemade soup for Super Bowl Sunday. My Patriots are playing. Hope you guys are all going to root for them. I have a feeling everybody's going to go for Seattle because the Patriots won against Seattle, I guess 11 years ago. It was just a fluke that they won right at the very end of that game. Actually, I don't have to worry about most of these in the middle, but I did all that already, so I guess I might as well continue. Most of these are going to be covered up, so I'm just cleaning this. I'm having trouble getting any through. I'm just going to poke them a little bit. There we go. And make sure that you don't do what I do. I'm famous for setting things down and not remembering them. Put your cap back on right away. That's my handy dandy tip for the day because I'm so bad about that. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. And we're going to take out our stamps, and I'm going to tell you about another fun thing in this. So I'm going to wait to put this paper on here first. Yeah, we're pretty good. I got all the pieces out. Shirley and Jane are going to love die cutting this tonight. I can tell. They're going to probably draw straws to see who gets to do it. Okay, the next fun die in this bundle is this one. And it cuts out these circles, which are great for mounting your sentiment on in between. And what we're going to do is just take our snips. In my case, I've got some Fiskars. I've always had these. These are more ergonomic for me. They work really well. I'm just snipping between the circles, just like that. And then what I will probably do is try to put my, the circles that are a little bit less rounded. I'm going to try and fix it, but what I'm going to do is put that at the bottom of the die. You won't see it so much. So let me set that one aside. This was 2.5 inches by, oh boy, I can't remember. So I took my piece of DSP. It is 3.5 inches by 2.25 inches. That's right, a little bit over 2.25 inches. I had a piece of DSP. This is the one that has the light blue flowers on the back. Not quite this one. It's the solid piece of DSP that has the little flowers. Put that to the side. And then the other thing I need, I have a piece of Secret C 3.25 by 4.25 because I cut a piece of DSP 3 inches by 4 inches. And we're just going to mount that right in the middle there, just like that. So let me glue that on. Three by 4 is a favorite number for me. I love 3 by 4 cards or centers. And then I put it on a 3.25 by 4.25 piece of cardstock. And then you can bump it up or whatever. So what I wanted to do was figure out if I put this on here, I'm just changing this up a tiny, tiny bit. I put this on here and I bump this up and I put the ribbon around just this piece. I'm feeling like it'll fit in the card better. So maybe I'm going to take a chance. I'll send you the better of the two cards, I promise. This is how I add my glue to this one. I'm kind of just going between the lines. This is kind of fun. It's like I'm drawing with my glue. Not lifting up my, I'm just kind of drawing with my glue because I obviously don't want it to soak through. So hopefully this is going to work. Hopefully. I'm going to put it just like this. So this was a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of Petal Pink, and I'm just going to attach that right there. I feel like you can't really see that, and when I tie my Secret C ribbon around, and where did I put my Secret C ribbon? It's right here. I'm going to instead tie it around this piece because this one is going to be, it's going to be a little bulky and hard in the envelope. So I'm thinking this way I can maneuver it not right on the fold. I'm going to tie myself a little bow. Oh, if anybody that was in class is watching, I totally forgot about the pastries. I had the pastries, the little strawberry shortcakes for you guys today, and I totally forgot. I just remembered that now when I was thinking about who might be watching my Facebook Live today. Okay, I'm going to scoot this over to the edge, just like that. And you know what I could even do? No, I'm going to pop up this part just like I did. So I think I'm going to glue that right on there. Let me tell you how I did this die cut. I forgot to kind of mention that. So we have this die. And where did I put the die? Right here. It doesn't really work on this way because I ended up with overlap. And actually, this covers up most of it. The 3 by 4 covers up most of those spots. But what I ended up doing was putting this right here in the corner, just like that. That's exactly where I put it. There's a hair of a gap on the right and the top. Then I moved it down here and I did the same thing. There's a hair, bottom and left. And I overlapped them because you're not going to see that anyway. So make sure though, if you do that, do it horizontally if you want to do it just like I did. Vertically, it didn't match. And then I had gap marks here and there. And that was hard to cover up. So unless you're going, I suppose you could do that if you wanted to do your ribbon across that way. But it would have to be a fairly large ribbon. The cloud cover ribbon that's part of the suite would work. Okay, So I just wanted to make a point of saying I did those die cuts horizontally when I did it. Okay, so I've got my little piece right here. And then do I still have, let's see if I still have my little, oh yes, it got lost in here. This is the little sentiment label that I was talking about. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. I'm going to stamp happy birthday on that. When I did it on this one, I kind of wasn't really in the center. So I'm going to stand up and try to do a better job with my ink and centering my sentiment. Because then I might be able to put my leaves in a slightly different place. So let's see how I can do. Let's see how I do. I don't know what I did to this stamp, but it is all foggy. I should just throw it away and get another one. Okay, we're going to stamp in the center of the label, just like that. Just like that. And don't look at the little where I double. I'm not even going to pay any attention to that. I suppose I could flip it over, but I like the marking on the front. Then what I have to do, don't forget, if you flip it over and you're using the back side, run it back through the die again. If it's symmetrical, that's better. We'll do that. Run it back through the die again and you can get the marking on the other side. I'm not going to worry about that here today. Okay, so I've got here, I'm going to glue this down, I think, because I'm going to add that right there. Isn't that so pretty with the background? I really love that. I'm not a big petal pink person, but generally speaking, this I think is a pretty card. What I'm going to do is attach my sentiment to this fun little die cut. What I want to do for that, I'm going to put my silicone mat there, just so I don't bleed through onto my glass mat. So we'll do that there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'll set that aside, I'll let it dry, and then I can always what I'll do when this dries, I don't know if you've had one of these, you just, when it dries, just rub off the glue. It comes right off. It's kind of a really neat theory, actually. So thank you, anybody that's joining me. Make sure you say hi and make sure that if you can, share it to your Facebook page. Okay, I'm popping this up just like that, just like that. Let me, oh, didn't peel off that one. Hard to get it to stick if you don't peel off the thing. And I don't want it to stick to my ribbon underneath. There we go. Okay. So this is super easy. You could do the same thing with this card as I did with my blue card here, where I splattered and did the Wink of Stella. You could do that on this one if you wanted to. In fact, I like Wink of Stella so much that I think I will paint my leaves real quick, because that only takes a second. Especially if you don't, I got it all over. But anyway, I love Wink of Stella. I hope you guys do too. Now I had a leaf, and the reason I had the leaf was because I was trying to cover that up over there. I might just actually pop it up down here this time. I don't know. I do think I kind of like it better up there again, and it doesn't need to be up there to cover up the end this time, but okay. So let me put on a couple of dimensionals on the back. And then what I'm going to do, so on the dimensionals are going to pop up over the ends here, and I'm going to add just a dab of glue. I'm not going to put any dimensional or anything. It would be hard anyway because of the stem. Oh, that reminds me of something else I wanted to tell you guys when die cutting. I already stamped this, but I wanted to show you. I stamped this and I meant to show you how I stamped it. So we can do it just like that, and then you could add some dots to the center. I added dots to the center here because I had them, but you know what? I think I almost like it like this. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Let me stamp my leaves here, and I wanted to show you something about die cutting with this one. So I've got my Secret Sea ink pad right here. So this is the last thing. And like I said, I'm just tapping. I just re-inked this, so it's really wet. If I had smushed it in, the whole block would be blue. So just be careful. This is almost not big enough, but anyway. I like to rub my finger behind it. Ah, not bad. Okay, so this is what I want to show you with the die cutting. What Stampin' Up! Does many times when you have a little narrow stem, they put a dot right there on the die. And what you do is when you put your die on here, you keep moving it until you see the Secret Sea or the navy blue or the green or whatever color you're popping up through that dot. And then, of course, make sure you tack it down so that it doesn't move when you're die cutting. But you can see I don't know that you can see because this is a really tiny dot, but the Secret Sea is showing through that dot right there. So I know that I'm in a good spot for cutting. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like I said, I would probably, because of all the leaves on here, what I would love to do, let me do this again, to grab I take my basic white paper to Staples and I tell them that I want it cut by 4 by 5 at 4 by 5 1/4, and I cut a whole 2 or 3 packs at a time. And I did that with the 40 sheets before they went to 24. So now I might have to bring 6 packs at the same time. But I have a box where I keep all of my inserts, and then all I have to do is pull the inserts out of there. I don't have to cut them special every time. But what I want to do is I'm going to just stamp, just to keep the theme going. We'll just stamp this down here in the corner. You could stamp that on our envelope as well. Everybody says no naked envelopes. I'm lucky if my cards make it into envelopes and get sent. So I'm working on the insides, and that was a big change for me. And I will work on the envelopes next. But let's put that in there with whatever sentiment you want. I said happy birthday, so I'm probably going to just write a message in there. Everybody needs birthday cards, especially this time of year, right? So look at how easy that card was. That didn't take me long either. So we've got the dots if you want the dots. No dots, just Wink of Stella. I'm partial to that. And then we've got this card right here. I've got that I splattered with the Wink of Stella. So I hope you love these cards. This is this week's card class again, part of my what did I call it? A love promotion. And I would love to have you come to my card class. If you place a $35 order in the store this week, I'm actually going to make another card, and I hope to share it tomorrow night on a Facebook Live. Another card with this paper, and I'm also going to make a box that Judy Tuttle showed me how to make. So stay tuned, come back. Here, I'm going to, oh, thank you, Cheryl. So good to see you on here. Karen, thank you. I love you guys. I'm going to switch so you don't see my messy room, and I'm going to say goodbye, and thank you so much for joining me. I had a wonderful time stamping with you. Try to tune in tomorrow night. I hope to be live. Bye.